Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's learn more about MrBeast Burger. Together, let's go.
Finally got my hands on a burger from MrBeast's new restaurant. Let's see what all the fuss is about, shall we? Ugh, this thing sucks. It kind of tastes like paper. And these napkins barely soak anything up. What a waste of money. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory!
Hello Internet, welcome to Food Theory. Hello, this video came out in the year 2021, so 1 year passed. Right now it's in the year 2022.
Whenever the worlds of food and YouTube collide, we'll be there holding the seismograph. And as I'm sure many of you are aware, such a collision occurred just last month.
Yeah! I've never ran a restaurant before. Money for you, money for you, money for you.
That's right, theorists. MrBeast opened up his own fast food restaurant. Cars were backed up for miles just to have the chance to pull up to the window of MrBeast Burger, where Jimmy Donaldson and the boys were serving up fast food at unbeatable prices.
Yep, free. In fact, if you get the burger, you have more money, so yep.
Because those prices were them giving away free iPads, AirPods, stacks of cash, and even cars.
Literal stacks of cash.
How's it going? So you guys are actually the last people. Here's 3 burgers for everyone. Oh, and also, since you guys were last, here's a bunch of money. I don't know what you're gonna do with it, but... Serious brother? Yeah, there we go.
A restaurant that gives money away is, well, it's definitely not your typical business model. But this is MrBeast we're talking about here. The guy who straight up gave away $1 million. The guy who gave away an actual island. The guy who, despite his jaw-dropping earnings over the past few years, vows to die with $0 in his bank account.
And you must remember, this video came out in the year 2021, and it was before Squid Game, in which, like, wow, Squid Game was super massive.
So, at a glance, the fact that MrBeast has opened, quote, the world's first free restaurant might seem like just another expensive philanthropic mega stunt by the master himself, but in actuality, MrBeast Burger is more than that. See, he didn't just reskin a Buca de Beppo in Southlake, Texas for a one-day video shoot and call it good. Oh no, MrBeast Burger is now, weeks after the episode dropped, an actual restaurant chain doing business in the traditional sense, you know, by actually charging money for its food products. But he's doing it in the most non-traditional way possible. Sure, the reskinned drive-thru restaurant was a big, flashy stunt for the cameras, but the actual story here is that the MrBeast Burger restaurant chain exists without actually existing. That's because it offers its food exclusively through delivery apps.
Yes, that case in point, it's kind of a limbo. It exists without actually existing.
And because of that, it launched with 300 locations. Let me repeat that. On day 1, 300 MrBeast Burger locations sprung up across the United States. Folks, that is insane. For reference, In-N-Out has only 342 locations, and it took them more than 66 years to reach that milestone.
Yes, think about it. You spent like 66 years to open 300 plus restaurants? 1 day. 1 day! Come on, man. Wow.
And get this, he's already promised to double and even triple the number of locations in the near future. All of that leads me to ask,
how? Why? Who? What?
How? How on earth does someone launch a restaurant chain with hundreds of locations like that? What exactly is Jimmy doing differently from the other fast food chains out there that have meticulously built their chains over the course of decades? And is it actually gonna work? Is this a trend that we should expect to see more of in the restaurant industry? Well, hold on tight, guys and ghouls, because today's Food Theory episode is venturing into the realm of ghost kitchens. Now, despite the name, a ghost kitchen isn't actually some kind of haunted, spooky restaurant, which, gotta say,
FNAF! Five Nights at Freddy's reference!
Kinda disappointing. Basically, ghost kitchens are existing kitchens that will, for a fee, prepare the items for a virtual brand's menu. Here's an example to help you illustrate. Let's say that you're a manager of, pick a random restaurant here, Buca de Beppo. You've got yourself a huge commercial kitchen ready to pump out a ton of family-style Italian-American meals at a moment's notice, but your staff is just standing around with little to do because there's no dine-in customers in the midst of a pandemic.
You must remember that this video came out in the year 2021, and there is still the global pandemic period. Actually, no. Right now, it's still the year 2022, and there is still the global pandemic period. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Then, one day MrBeast shows up with a solution to all your problems. He wants to pay Buca de Beppo to prepare MrBeast burgers, seeing as how your kitchen and staff aren't operating at full capacity. This way, he doesn't have to build an actual brick-and-mortar restaurant, and your kitchen staff stays busy all day by operating as a ghost kitchen for MrBeast Burger.
Sort of a win-win situation.
So MrBeast supplies the menu and the burger ingredients, your kitchen staff prepares the online orders as they roll in, and then third-party delivery apps like Postmates and DoorDash take the burgers to customers in the area. MrBeast gets a cut, you get a cut, the delivery app gets a cut. At the end of the day, it's a win-win-win. Everyone is happy. Plus, because Buca de Beppo is already a restaurant chain in its own right, MrBeast can make a deal with numerous Buca de Beppo locations, allowing him to start a chain of virtual restaurants with relative ease. And that right there is the main difference between MrBeast Burger and pretty much every other fast food restaurant that you know and love. MrBeast Burger is a virtual restaurant, meaning it's a brand name that outsources pretty much everything about its day-to-day operations. Now,
and you must remember, this is pretty meta.
MrBeast is hardly the first celebrity to start this sort of virtual restaurant. Delivery app usage has more than doubled since the pandemic began, and as a result, a whole lot of folks have rushed to get in on that virtual restaurant game. Hip-hop artist Tyga launched a virtual chicken restaurant called Tyga Bites in the summer of 2020. Pop icon Mariah Carey launched the virtual cookie line Mariah's Cookies ahead of the 2020 holiday season. Remember the MTV reality show Jersey Shore? Yeah, I tried to block it out of my mind too, but one of the stars of that, Pauly D, he's got himself his own virtual Italian sub chain. In other words, Pauly D is totally DTF right now, delivering the food. But here's a spooky little ghost kitchen test that you can—
I don't think TDF stands for delivering the food, right? I'm sorry.
carry out on your phone right now. Open up a delivery app and look up MrBeast Burger. Then look up Mariah's Cookies. Then look up Tyga Bites. Then look up Pauly D's Italian Subs. If they're available in your area, you might notice that they deliver from the exact same local address. That is to say, they all operate out of the exact same ghost kitchen. For instance, one member of Game Theorists who's based in Pennsylvania looked him up on Uber Eats and found that Mariah's Cookies and MrBeast Burger were both delivering from 250 West Bridge Street. Then we looked up 250 West Bridge Street on the city directory, and by city directory I mean Google, and found that it's the address of a Bravo Italian kitchen, which we can also confirm by looking up Bravo in the Uber Eats app. Out of all the names we just mentioned, it's that last one, Bravo Italian Kitchen, that seems the least exciting, but it's also the one that's the most interesting to us because Bravo is one of the many restaurant chains owned by restaurateur Robert Earl, the man who partnered with his son Robbie Earl to create virtual dining concepts. The company that has quietly partnered with MrBeast, Mariah Carey, Tyga, and a number of other celebrity virtual restaurateurs. See, celebrity musicians and YouTubers, as brilliant and capable as they may be, simply don't have the experience or bandwidth to personally launch hundreds of kitchens worldwide. The good news is, they don't have to. Robert Earl, being a famed restaurateur, already owns multiple restaurant chains. Besides Bravo Italian Kitchen, he also owns chains like Bertucci's, Brio Italian Grill, Buca de Beppo. That means that he's in the rare position of having access to thousands of commercial kitchens across the country.
Case in point, he's standing on a very unique and special point of view, a POV, sorry. POV, point of view. Get it?
Kitchens that, it turns out, are just as capable of making smashed burgers, chicken nuggets, and fresh-baked cookies as they are Italian food. In short, if you're an enterprising restaurateur wondering how to get permitting for 300 restaurant locations to all open on the same day, the answer is you don't. While there are 300 locations around the country now serving MrBeast's food, the reality is that these aren't quote-unquote new restaurants. The menu and branding are all new, but the core essentials of the restaurant, the kitchen, the staff, the permits, etc., were all in place before MrBeast decided to launch his burger chain. And this isn't to diminish the launch of MrBeast Burger in any way. On the contrary, I think building a network of ghost kitchens that can be leveraged by brands and celebrities is a brilliant, epic logistical feat. According to their website, Virtual Dining Concepts can have your virtual restaurant launched in 30 days. I mean, to me, that's even more insane than the 300 locations in a day stat. Look, I'm not here to do a commercial on Virtual Dining Concepts or anything. This episode is 100% hashtag not spawn. As a business owner, I just can't help but admire admire how quickly and thoroughly they've been able to fill this niche. I have a theory about MrBeast Burger, and the theory is that it and other quote-unquote restaurants like it are here to stay. I mean, honestly, 2020 has completely shifted our viewpoint on restaurants and food. In the past, restaurants that were delivery only carried a bit of a stigma, feeling like a second-rate alternative. Now, delivery is the default. If you're already getting all your restaurant meals via Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, or Postmates, suddenly a delivery-only restaurant no longer seems that bad. There is literally nothing separating the new virtual restaurant from the real restaurant that you're used to. Second, this sort of restaurant is much safer. From a health standpoint, of course, but also from a business standpoint. In 2020, we saw tons of existing restaurants and beloved businesses tragically have to close because no one was allowed to go to the physical locations. But those kitchens were just as capable as ever of providing hot meals. The virtual restaurant model could wind up offering some of these businesses new life by allowing them to put that unused kitchen space to work.
Case in point, the tools, the utensils, the kitchen's stuff, they are all skilled to prepare different type of amazing, gorgeous, splendid, wonderful, outstanding, remarkable dishes. So, be it like noodles, rice, burger, pizza, they are just amazing chefs. And during this global pandemic period when things get harsh, I'm just thankful towards individuals like MrBeast for coming up with such creative solutions.
Suddenly, it's not Buca de Beppo sales alone that are having to pay the rent on the building. It's Buca de Beppo sales, and Mariah Carey sales, and Tyga sales, and MrBeast sales. And when you look at it like that, those overhead costs of operating the restaurant, including food and staff and rent, well, they don't look nearly as daunting. Because those celebrities are providing marketing and, most importantly, sales. Sure, it might not be marketing for your specific brand or restaurant, but having a bit of extra cash in the bank by cooking a few extra burgers on the side,
especially during the global pandemic period, it really helps.
It ain't so bad. And keep in mind, launching new restaurants with celebrities attached is just one approach to virtual dining. For any wannabe restaurateurs out there who aren't fortunate enough to have 50 million subscribers, there's a whole slew of other ways ghost kitchens can be used to navigate the ever-changing restaurant landscape. For instance, some restaurants have already started using ghost kitchens to test out new menus and sell sister brands. In a recent Food Theory episode, we discussed how Chuck E. Cheese low-key launched a delivery-only sister brand called Pascali's Pizza and Wings. Come to think of it, Five Nights at Freddy's sister brand does have a nice ring to it. The delivery apps like DoorDash are even building their own ghost kitchens, enabling them to now make money off the food itself in addition to the delivery of said food.
True, I'm just glad that MatPat mentioned this, because case in point, right, we must remember that all these restaurants need to make money, and if they want to try something new, something good, or something creative, but it doesn't really have a solid background that it might work or it might not work, having this like sister location to try it out first, and if the sister locations, they do well, the customer feedback is positive, so they can bring it from sister location to the main part. Now, vice versa, it's kind of stable, isn't it? A safe way to actually do business. So that's quite an interesting thought.
Never mind the fact that at the end of the day, ghost kitchens are an efficient use of kitchen resources for any restaurant willing to adapt and take on the virtual menu. Menus which tend to be simple and streamlined for the most part.
See, a bit, there's growth, there's development, there's improvements, so...
MrBeast Burger's menu, for instance, easily fits onto one page. In short, MrBeast Burger is a huge deal, and it's just one example of a business model that, in the current moment, seems poised to take over the world of dining, and just might be poised to give a much-needed boost to certain businesses that might be struggling at the moment. Hey, maybe rebranding existing restaurants to make FNAF IRL a reality instead of a MatPat fantasy isn't such a far-out idea after all. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Bon appetit. Thanks for watching, Theorists.
Thank you.
Here's that Chuck E. Cheese episode I mentioned a moment ago. There's a rumor going around that they recycle uneaten pizza slices by baking them into new pizzas, and I urge you to watch our episode before making your mind up. And say, as long as you're here, maybe you should subscribe to Food Theory. We're a pretty cool channel talking about cool topics like this, and who knows, maybe one day we'll have a restaurant of our own. Food Theory, the smarter way to cook.
True. The smarter way to cook. That might be interesting to try it out. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you find this video very interesting to watch. Quite a creative, unique, and quite special to watch, right? If you do like this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have any share down below. Don't forget to follow my channel, and I sincerely appreciate all of your support and encouragement for my work. Thank you all so much. You're the best. I hope to see you all in my next video. Thank you so much for being so encouraging, supportive, and uplifting. You're the best. Thank you. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Bon appetit. Thank you. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye bye. Thank you so much. Subscribe.